everybody. I am so happy to be here with you today, live with Pessy, talking about all things children. And, we have a summit coming up. The title of this summit really is managing the mental health crisis that kids have, teenagers have. All of us adults, there is a mental health crisis in our country right now. So in this Kids Summit, we're going to be diving in. And a lot of what I am interested in is how to build resilience. How do we do that? Are the techniques that therapists and parents are using right now, are they effective? Do they work? And the answer to that is some are effective and some work, and some aren't effective and some are actually now outdated. So I'm all about respect and compassion. If you know my work, it's about respect, compassion, and joining hands with all providers for children, for teenagers. So across disciplines, mental health, education, medicine, psychiatry, occupational therapy, a huge part of how we help build children's resilience. So I'm going to be talking, I'll tell you a little bit about the summit, but just want to see who's here. Do you have any questions? I would love to chat with you. And one question I have, if any therapists are on, or providers, parent educators are on here, is do you have a roadmap? What is the roadmap you use to understanding children, to understanding how to help somebody in crisis? A child with challenging behaviors, a parent comes to you in so much distress. How do you know what to do? What is your guide? What is your roadmap? So that is one of the questions I'm going to be starting to ask in the beginning of my presentation at the Kids Summit. So thank you. Here we have, what do you think is the biggest misunderstanding with what resilience looks like in kids? Huge question. Thank you, Nikki. And the biggest misunderstanding I see is that we tend to think about resilience as this trait that people have, like, learn how to be resilient, learn how to bounce back, as if it's something that people are either born with or are lucky to have or not have. So that's not how I define resilience. One way I look at resilience is flexibility through change. Think about how the children you work with, how your own children manage being flexible when the unexpected happens, being flexible when the schedule changes, when all of a sudden something happens that they weren't expecting. So that's a big question. And the way we answer that question is that luckily, brain science has given us a roadmap as to how to build resilience. So resilience isn't just inherited. Resilience doesn't come if you get a certain amount of genes for resilience. Of course, it's always a complicated mix between your genetics and your environment, but we are going to be tackling really actionable steps. I mean, I'm going to be giving you actual lists of what to do to build resilience. And those lists are going to be defining something called co-regulation, magic bullet of mental health, very misunderstood right now. So I can't wait for the summit. All right, thank you. Let's see, Latanya is saying we must allow them to feel their emotions without making them feel their emotions are invalid or not normal. Yes, that is a key component to co-regulation, because If we are afraid of a child's emotions, if we are trying to make them feel happy right away, or if we are triggered by what happens in a child, then that ability to stabilize one nervous system to another. This is what we talk about, one nervous system to another. How do we build that ability to talk yourself off a ledge, to tell yourself, or by that few seconds that would say, instead of throwing this block at my brother, I'm going to go get mommy or daddy. Or instead of scrumpling up this paper right now because I'm so messed up in this new classroom and I miss my old teacher, and so I'm just feeling like a ball of stress, what do I do instead? I take a breath. I think about something that makes me feel grounded. I think about my old teacher. Okay, maybe I can tackle this assignment. So we're going to be talking about strategies to build resilience. How do we do this? How do we do this? Dahlia is saying, are we getting a certificate after attending the summit? I think that's a pretty cool thing about this summit, is that there is a certificate involved in it. So definitely a certificate of attendance, but I'll post up, and Pessy will post up what type of certificate you'll get. But it definitely, you will get a certificate of attendance. And then I think there's something else that is tacked onto this in terms of calling yourself or having a child specialty. So I'm just one of a big cast of many, many therapists who are going to be on this, on the 2 days of this Kids Summit. And I urge you to check it out. They can, there's a discount going on right now, but my colleagues and I are going to really hold you and listen to you and talk to you about how to manage this mental health crisis. And I think it goes without saying that one way we can manage it as therapists is to take good care of ourselves, understanding where this crisis, where the post-pandemic tail is landing in us. Where are you in your recovery from the pandemic? And how can we help you do better? So really looking forward to it. And the title we have decided on is around how to build regulated young clients. So I'm just putting this out there, but as a therapist, how were you trained as a child therapist? Did you have specific training in a certain method of child therapy? If any of you are here now, just put it in the chat. But I'm so curious. What's your roadmap? What I have found in working with agencies and private clinics is that many therapists, many child therapists, are using a model, a kind of a miniaturized model of adult therapy with children. Now, no blame, no shame. There's nothing wrong with that. However, if you want to learn more about the paradigm shift in how we, especially how I view mental health, which is away from the DSM model, away from the disorder labels, and towards a grounded understanding of the nervous system, I really hope you join me. Because a grounded understanding of the nervous system is going to look, that kind of therapy is going to look a lot different than probably how you and I were trained as child therapists. And I'll just give you a little preview. We've got to get parents out of the waiting room. I know it's cozy in there with your child client doing the work, but dyadic work is where it's at. I will talk to you about that. I will talk to you about how to get specialized in it and why it's important. So, anyway, thank you for joining us here. And if you have any questions, just put them on my Facebook feed or email me through my website, and check out my also my offerings there too. I have a parenting community, the Brain Body Parenting Collective, for parents and providers, where we are in the thick of this paradigm shift. So I would love it if therapists join us there. We are having a great time supporting each other and learning together. So be well, take care, and hope to see you on August